One of the reasons we do have a stationary front that's kind of taking its time just through the middle portion of the state from Tampa is just sitting south of Jacksonville. And as that southern moisture comes up, it's kind of getting blocked by that. But we also have this area of low pressure that was over towards the Big Bend region the other day. But now it's shifting a little bit further east. And as this becomes out over the Atlantic, it heads that direction. It may become subtropical. We got to watch that very closely as we go through the next few days. National Hurricane Center is watching it. But nonetheless, it's going to continue to move on off to the east as it does so. We're still getting some tropical moisture playing in. So as we go through Friday and into Saturday, still a chance for some spotty showers, but the chances will start to get a little lesser, a little spread out, which is good news. Now, talking about the tropical satellite real quick, you can see that that system is centered just south of Gainesville. We'll continue to head out off the coast of the Carolinas. 10% chance for formation over the next 2 days, 20% over the next 7. As we're looking off the coast of Mexico, there's a potential for another formation over the next 7 days. 30% chance just near the Yucatan Peninsula, but that's going to be going towards Texas and Mexico away from Florida, which is good news as we look at some long-range models. So here's what it looks like with this one that's over Florida. Tropical wave Invest 90L. That's also helping contribute to some of that moisture as we continue to see that push on off to the northeast. As we track that, it's going to head on away from us, but we're still stuck with a little bit of the shower activity as we go through the next few days.
That is a small tornado that apparently touched down, ripping through the landscaping of this home. All of this happening just around 10 a.m. this morning. And south over to the Palm Beach County area. This is video from another viewer. Well, that's not a lake. That's their backyard over in the Lake Worth Beach area. The grassy backyard just flooded with water. Again, we've seen inches of rain in parts of Palm Beach County. And in Martin County, well, they were not spared as well. Take a look at uprooted trees being shown. We've seen this throughout the afternoon. All of this, a lot of this happening over in that Bridge Road area. We're going to show you much more of that coming up here in a minute. We even got a chance to see a small funnel cloud that turned into a touchdown of a tornado, an EF1.
Yeah, a lot of activity out there today, and that tornado causing some damage. And of course, they sent a site survey out from the National Weather Service from Melbourne. And this is the breakdown of that EF1 tornado. It was from Hobe Sound and Jupiter Island tornado damage survey by the Melbourne office. As you can see, the track of that storm, which actually crossed Route 1 and Dixie Highway heading over towards the Jupiter Island. So the time was 10:37 this morning to 10:44 a.m. It was an EF1 rating. Peak winds were 85 to 95 miles per hour. The path of the storm or the tornado was about 1.7 miles, maximum width 500 yards wide, and there was no injuries from this storm. But nonetheless, you can see that track of that tornado as it went across those areas and all the trees that were down across Bridge Road, Southeast Bridge Road, a lot of the damage there. So once again, we talk about EF scale. Well, what is the EF1? Well, those winds could be anywhere from 86 to 110 miles per hour. We're looking at roofs severely stripped. That can occur with these storms. Looking at mobile homes overturned or badly damaged, loss of exterior doors, and windows broken. So that's the kind of strength that this type of EF scale 1 could have as we see that activity out there. But we've seen plenty of rain. Not only did we have the tornado, we had the rain. We had plenty of it come down, and some of those areas got as much as anywhere from 5 to 6 inches of rain. Heavier amounts down towards the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, as much as 11 to 12 to 13 inches.
We're now learning just how powerful this storm really was when it swept through Hobe Sound, and particularly right here on Bridge Road. Now, a team of experts with the National Weather Service were out here earlier assessing damage and conducting an initial survey where they did confirm an EF1 tornado touched down, and that tornado left a trail of destruction in its path. Colossal trees that once stood tall, now lying across roadways. A portion of Bridge Road was forced to close after a confirmed EF1 tornado uprooted more than 24 trees in Hobe Sound.
And with that, we believe wind speeds topped out in this area of around 85 to 90 miles per hour.
Video sent to us by a viewer shows the intense wind gusts pushing trees sideways Wednesday morning. An initial survey from the National Weather Service shows the tornado touching down near US 1, heading east down Bridge Road before crossing into Jupiter Island. Just steps away, children attending summer school at Hobe Sound Elementary were evacuated and safely moved to the Port Salerno campus out of an abundance of caution. Colleen G. was coming to pick up her son when she saw the poster outside.
I was a little confused, but someone was here and kind of told me everything that had happened, and I was like, oh, that's good. He's safe, so definitely feel better about that.
A spokesperson with the school district says there was some reported damage, but it's unclear if it impacted the building itself. Sources tell us they followed a tornado drill, moving all the kids into safety rooms.
Oh, it makes me feel wonderful. I'm happy that they were able to do all that and be safe and secure. That's all you can hope for when they're not with you in this type of weather, especially.
Just across the street, the child care center also has some visual damage outside. Sources there tell us some of the employees took the kids and hid in the bathroom as the storm came through. So far, no injuries have been reported, but the Hobe Sound Elementary School campus has canceled activities for the rest of the week. Those students are welcome to attend Port Salerno campus in the meantime.
That possible tornado traveled for about 1.5 miles from Federal Highway down here to Bridge Road, leaving behind a path of destruction.
It's just crazy. Yeah. How quickly things change.
Local business owners now cleaning up the mess after Wednesday morning storms. Boutique owner Chrissy Barley tells CBS 12 News she had little to no time to react when the tornado warning came through.
So I kind of looked at it and thought, well, maybe I should go home. So I went to grab my keys, and it was just kind of drizzling out here. So I didn't really think anything of it. I went to get my keys, came back to my windows, and I couldn't even see outside. My windows were vibrating.
Chrissy says she took cover in the back of her store and braced for impact.
And my ceiling started vibrating really hard, and some rain was coming in the store, and just the noise was so loud.
And just down the street at Nautical and Nice Trading Company, Jada Ball says the storm caught her off guard as well, despite the warnings.
I didn't think too much of it and until the door started to go off. And I noticed that the wind was creating a suction chamber and opening the door over and over and over again.
She too says the building was vibrating when the storm barreled down Bridge Road, knocking satellites off of neighboring businesses and snapping trees in half.
This is the door I had to hold closed, and I quickly locked it before running in the back, but there's the sign. Oh no. There's the other sign too, but it ripped it clean off the pipe here. I don't know if you can see the damage.
Oh my gosh, and this is a steel pipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, newly installed too.
Luckily, that was the only damage the store experienced. On the other side of the railroad tracks on Bridge Road and Shell Avenue is a different story. The scenic drive down to Hobe Sound Beach looks a little different. The banyan trees were ripped from the ground during the storm.
Obviously, there are crews out assessing the damage at other areas, but specifically here, we're just waiting for those crews to come in to make sure that the bridge is safe and try to make sure that we get, all of the trees that are in the roadway, blocking the roadway, get those up and out of the way so people can continue to use this road.
And get back to doing what we do and, working together as a community, which is what Hobe Sound is about.
And back out here, live here on Bridge Road, crews are in the area trying to clean up the road that leads to Jupiter Island. They've been here all day, but you can see some of those banyan trees uprooted from the storm. We're also told that this will be closed until they can clean the roadways and make it safe for people to make it to Jupiter Island. The fire department says that could be anywhere between today and possibly tomorrow, but of course the weather is still a factor in their cleanup process. Reporting live in Hobe Sound, Victoria DeCardenas, CBS 12 News.
All right, let's head back out to CBS 12's Katie Benty. She's joining us live from outside the Hobe Sound Elementary School, where summer school students had to be evacuated from there earlier today. Katie?
Jim, we're told all the students who were here for summer school have been safely moved to another campus out of an abundance of caution. But before I get into those details, I want to show you guys what we're seeing right outside in the front yard. Piles and piles of trees and debris just stacked up outside the school. And if you take a look over this way, an employee we spoke with earlier says there was a point today where you couldn't even drive down this road because it was so piled with debris. Now, a spokesperson for the school district tells us there was some reported damage at Hope Sound Elementary School, but at this time it's unclear if it impacted the building itself or just the outside. Now, we do know they lost power here for a few hours, and sources tell us they followed a tornado drill, moving all the kids into safety rooms. And just across the street, the Hope Sound Child Care Center also has some visual damage outside. Sources there tell us some of the employees actually took the kids and hid them in the bathroom as the storm came through. The Hope Sound Elementary parents are asked to pick up their kids today at the Ports Lerner School in Stuart, but we spoke with a few of those parents here earlier who say they had no idea.
I was a little confused, but someone was here and kind of told me everything that had happened, and I was like, oh, that's good. He's safe, so definitely feel better about that.